It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light today, little flockulators. I want you to consider something. Remember when Paul said, when I was a child, I spake as a child. And in other words, I did childish things. My mindset was the mindset of a child. When you understand that, then you understand that children learn from imitation, from imitating what they see. You see that? Or emulate what they see. That's why you see a child go to her mother's high heels and steps her feet into them and grabs her mother's scarf or something and puts it around her neck and puts the heels on, and she acts like she's going to work with a little bag thrown over her shoulder. She's emulating, you see? So we understand that that's a childish thing to do, and that's something that one must put away. But right now I want you to focus on the fact that we all have been in that state of emulating what we saw that we thought was good. You see that? Just like the child did. We look and we see something that we think is good, and then we say, well, it must be good. So then if I do that, then I'll be good, because that's ultimately what we're all searching for. It would be idiocy to say that we're not searching for that pat on the head, so to speak. That's what frustrates all of the little flock when you're out here in the world. The mistreatment and iniquity is really the lack of being acknowledged for the things that you have done. The lack of thank yous, which we covered in a message not too long ago. All of those things cause you to become offended, you see, because you're looking for something. If you don't have any expectation, then there's no need for an offense. So if you're offended, then you had an expectation, and it would be wise that you accept that. First of all, acknowledge it. And what was it? What was your expectation? To be told you're good. And what did Yahushua say when somebody called him good? He said, why callest thou me good? There is only one good, and that's the Father. So when you accept that truth, that liberates you and frees you from being, because you know that being is the Father. That is what his name means, to be, to exist. You see it? But when you're a child, you don't understand the spiritual side of a thing yet. You just look and you see and you judge by what you see. You see? So one of those things would be something like prayer. Now I'm leading up to something. That's why I'm saying all of this. And ultimately, what am I leading up to before I get into it? A brother said, can you speak to us about the spiritual comfort zone? So that's what we're going to speak today about, little flockulators. The spiritual comfort zone. How to get into it. How to obtain it. How to find it. You see? And there's only one way. There's only one way. And it's so narrow of a way that only one man can walk on that path at a time. If we're on that narrow path, we're all walking it in a single file line. You see that? It's not some wide path that we're all frolicking down, drinking and smashing beer mugs together, saying hip hip hooray. No, that's the wide path that leads to somewhere we ain't trying to go. Ain't that right, little flockulators? But why is it such a narrow path? Because when you find out where it is that you're going, then you'll totally understand just how narrow it is and why it's narrow. You'll know. And it will be obvious as to why it's narrow. When you see it, you say, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense. You see it? So before we get into it and where it's at and everything, I'm going to tell you why most people miss it. And most people miss it because they saw it with their eyes, by sight, like the child did. So he looks at something that he deems to be good, that he sees somebody else have. These would be like the Pharisees, you see, outwardly righteous. So that appeals to you and you want to become a Pharisee. Like we were talking about Saul, Paul, how he was a Pharisee, blameless. See, nobody could say anything about him because outwardly he appeared righteous unto men. If he was a Pharisee, then he did. Why? Because he wanted to be told that he had done right and he had done good. And like I told you, we're all looking for that. Why are we all looking for it? Because we read where it said, well done, my good and faithful servant. So that's the goal. So to deny that that's what we're looking for, that would just be silly to do that if you ask me. It's obvious. And just be honest about this, that when you do something that you know is good, sometimes all you want is a thank you. You don't even need anything in return, because we know to do good, hoping for nothing in return. Remember what I said about the expectation? If you don't have an expectation, then when you don't get the thank you, you won't be offended. But it is because you expect the thank you, because you're saying, you didn't see what I did? So then if you're doing that, are you seeking the accolade that you look for by faith? No. You sought it by the work of your hands. You see how it's not just about Israel and the law. It's about everybody that does everything that they do. You see it? Like I told you, every word is for every man benefit. Not just a man, not just a woman, not just an old person, not just a child. Everybody benefits equally because Abba's a God of equity. That's why he hates iniquity and rejects those who work such a thing. Ain't it obvious? So now back to the child and what they'll do when they see you do something that you say is good. For instance, to pray. Now, if you teach this child that praying is talking to God and it's important to do this, and if you need something or want something, you need to ask God for it, you need to pray to the Father for it, then when that child, when you show that child an example of praying, he's going to use his childish thinking, like Paul said. He's going to use his childish mind to interpret what he sees you do. You see what I'm trying to tell to you? Even though praying is an invisible act, it's not visible. What did Christ say? Let's refresh your memory. He said when they pray, they do it on the corner. They do it in the pulpit of the synagogue. In other words, they do it openly where men can see them do it. Remember about the child that I told you about? His understanding? That looks good to people when you stand there as a great orator, speaking all loudly into a microphone, getting people's emotions all riled up and everything, praying to God with your eyes, tears come out the corner of your closed eyes and everything. It looks good. So to a child that wants to please God, he presumes that you're pleasing God by doing that. But how could that be pleasing to God if Yahusha said the wicked people do that? Well, then it ain't pleasing to God, even though it looks and it seems that way. See what I'm saying to you? So if you saw that, you would think praying consisted of closing your eyes and saying these words in this eloquent, passionate way, like you saw that guy do, that made you feel the feelings. So if I pray like he did, then other people will feel the feelings I feel. So then why are you truly praying? You're not praying to ask God for anything. You're praying to be what? Seen of men. Now, is that what Yahushua said that they do? That's exactly what he said that they do. Because he said all that they do to be seen of men. So then if you're that child who grew up in that world that Yahushua came to tear down, then when you were growing up in it, you learned that everything that's good is what? Of outward appearance, how it looks. And so that's what you see when you read the Bible, don't you? And then Paul, who was converted, told you that that was the error. They sought it by works and not by faith. So when you pray, you should pray with faith. That's why Yahushua said, ask believing and you shall have it. But when people ask and they ask amiss, so that they can consume it on their lust, which is on their carnality. So that people can think I'm good and tell me how wonderful of a prayer I am. Well, Yahushua said, go into a secret place. Now, where is that place? It's not in that pulpit where you were hooping and hollering on that microphone. Oh, no, it isn't. It isn't there. So then, where is it? It isn't on that street corner where everybody can see you because you got that microphone blasting all loud and shit. That's not where it is it? Oh, well, no, that's not either. So then are you doing what Yahushua said, or are you doing what Yahushua said the hypocrites do? Well, I'm doing what Yahushua said the hypocrites do. So then that means that you're a hypocritas cucaracha. We got the raid in our hand. So then what does that mean for you? You're either going to run or you're going to get sprayed. Your choice. I don't care as long as I don't see you no more. See? As long as I don't see you anymore, I don't care where you go. Just go where I'll never see you again. You hear me today, little flockulators? It be roaches all over the earth, but they not in your house. And you're relieved with that. You don't have no war against roaches or vendetta against them because they exist. You just don't want them in your house. And as long as they're not in your house, then you're good. Even if there's a big ass cockroach coming down off of a tree in the jungle about to land in some guy's hat, you don't care. It doesn't affect you. So I'm not going to go kill that roach or seek to kill him or look for him or do anything against roaches. Y'all understand my point? Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? So now, little flock, this place where you go pray. Now watch, when a kid sees you pray. Now let's say, watch me. Now watch me. He says, pray real quick so I can see what it looks like. This is what I'm going to do. Wait, sir, you're done? It's done. What? I didn't hear you say anything. You didn't even ask God. I did. Didn't he say to go into a secret place? Yeah. Well, then if you saw me doing it, then I wasn't in a secret place, was I? Oh, well, no, sir. You weren't. But you were standing right in front of me. But you don't know what I asked God. You just admitted you don't. Uh-huh. Foot sweep. Now, I got the blade on your neck if you still want to act silly. Do you? No, sir. I'll submit. I know you will. Did y'all understand what I'm telling to you? That's the true way to pray, according to what Yahusha told us, is it not? But look how people don't actually obey it. They start talking loudly, exactly what he said not to do. But people, when they want vainglory so bad, they gotta do it. They have to sell themselves out. See, like Judas did. They have to exchange their place with the truth and give that up to become this false image. I am a great prayer. Prove that you are by obtaining. Uh-oh. Yeah, because you're asking amiss, which means you ain't going to get anything. So all that hooping and a hollering and a sweating and doing everything that God hates is not going to make God give you what you asked for. But if you did what Yahusha said, which is what I just demonstrated, then you'd have it, because that's asking, believing. Now, when that child saw me do that and they didn't see me do anything, and they didn't inquire further, they just said, okay, that's what praying is. That's what he says it is. All right. Guess what they do, little flock? They simply close their eyes and then they start talking like they always do. God, if you could just watch this. This is how they pray before. Lord, they have the hands put together. Lord, if you can just bless me to have this thing, I'll give up smoking forever. I'll never fornicate again. I'll never look upon a maiden. I'll this and all that, bartering and bartering and a bartering and bartering. That's how he prays, right? And then when he learned, see, he said, okay, that didn't work. It didn't give me anything. Okay, that guy said, this is how you pray. And he did it like that, remember? Okay, so then I'm going to do that. God, if you could just see. Now remember, he knows I didn't say anything with my mouth. So he's not vocally saying, God, if you could just, he's just literally doing the same thing he was doing outside, inside. If you could just give me what I asked for, then that's all, folks, because you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. But the reason why this person or this child in this case doesn't know how to pray still is because he doesn't know what I did in that secret place. That's why it's a secret. Now, the only way he knows what I did is if I share that secret with him. Now, if it's a secret, then how do I know the secret? Because it's been revealed to me, just like I'm about to reveal it to you. When I go into that secret place, I'm going to take you guys along with me today. Matter of fact, there's no need in playing games about it. If you guys really want to know, then it's best that you do it and not just be a hearer of the word. So watch this here. Now, I know some of y'all are some places right now. Maybe you at work. Maybe you doing something important and other people around. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're not alone where you can't just sit there and close your eyes. But if you are, take a moment right now and close your eyes. Don't fake like you're closing them. Literally close them. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Why do people close their eyes when they pray? Well, before I ask you that, let me ask you this. Do people close their eyes when they pray? Okay. Why? Open your eyes back up real quick. I'm going to ask these questions, then we're going to close our eyes and do what we got to do. Why? Why do people close their eyes when they pray? The child just thinks that's what you do when you pray. That's what, because remember, emulation. That's what you do. You close your eyes and then you do the word. You say the words that you would say if they were open. That's what he's gathered, remember? But I'm asking you, why do people close their eyes? Since they do. Now the truth, because they're going into the secret place, into the closet, which is where the kingdom of heaven is, which is where Yahushua said is inside of you. So child, that's why I'm going inside of me when I pray. I don't pray out openly because the Father will reward me openly, but I must do it in secret. Then he rewards me openly. You see that, child? So the secret that I do is to go within myself, presume within myself, or in other words, assume within myself that the thing that I desire to be done or desire to have or desire to be, that it is. And how do I make it draw to me as though it is? I use his name concerning it. That's what will make it presently in my life. So now I'm not going, God, if you could just do this, then that. And God, if it's not a begging, it's simply a request. You can use the same word it's the request. It's the state of your heart when you ask. Do you ask believing that he'll do it when you ask? Or are you begging, hoping, and don't even know that he will? Thinking he might not when you ask. So then, child, is believing, is that a work done outside of you or internally? When you accept something is, you do that internally, correct? So the moment you feel yourself accept that experience as though it is, then it is. That means you ask believing. Now let it go. And let Abba reward you openly. You see that, little flockulators? Now, why do people close their eyes when they pray? That's proving that this world, when your eyes are open, is a distraction unto you. That's what it's proving to you. Otherwise, when you would pray to God, you'd have your eyes open. But you're not. So then you're proving you ain't looking for your answer out there. That's what I'm telling you. You're looking for the answer inside of you. That's where you're looking, because that's where the answer is. Now, remember I said, you use his name to take the circumstance and bring it presently into your life. Do you know his name? Watch when you find out what it is. Watch how your life's going to change and you're going to be free. Watch. His name is I Am. So now, if you were sick, laying on a bed, sick as hell, doctors were telling you all kind of bad news and everything, but the desire of your heart was to be 100% healthy, living your life as normal, then what would you do if you wanted to bring that experience into your life presently? Watch the grandson set you free if you have faith. You who's ever laying on that bed feeling like you're all in pain and can't move, just take the Father's name as I'm going to take it. I am 100% healthy. I am. See how matter-of-factly I'm saying it? Because that's what you would say if you were. You wouldn't go, oh man, I hope I am, while you're walking strong and proud. Who does that? No, you rejoice in your youth and in your strength. So then that's what you would do if you were youthful and healthy. So then claim his name and bring it to you. I am youthful and healthy. I am rejuvenated. I am re-strengthened. I am regenerated day by day in a perfect way. Instead of, oh man, I'm sick because look, I'm sick because I feel. I'm sick because, see, all these things when your eyes are open. That's what's determining to you how you feel. That's what's determining to you what you think, or basing your success on that. That's what you're doing. But that has nothing to do with anything. Abba has made that totally clear to us all. Now I'm going to use an example to prove this even further to you. I say it all the time, but watch how it's going to apply like a Lego here. When those men were on the boat, what was that situation about? When they were on there and Yahushua was asleep, what was that experience teaching us? What do you think? Well, let's tell you what the situation was like, and then you tell me. It was a stormy situation on a boat, and there were men upon it, and the storm raged so much that they thought that the boat would be capsized. Now, while this is happening, what do you think you'd feel? If you were on a cruise liner and the shit start toppling and swinging all around and storm raging and thunder and lightning every damn where and shit, sperm whale jumped out like Moby Dick and splashed, giant squid lurking under the water under the boat and shit, how would you feel? I would feel like those guys that were screaming and hollering and shit. Yeah, that ain't the right way to feel. Because what was Yahusha doing? Were his eyes open or were they closed? And you're going to say they were closed. So then I'm going to go click. So the reason why you're crying out to God is because of the fiery circumstance you're experiencing. Well, how was the correct way to cry out to God? Peace be still. I am safe. I am secure. I'm loved. So then there's no harm coming to me. It's that simple. Obviously, that's what Yahusha said. Obviously, that's what he was doing. And like I said, it's there for all of us to understand. Okay, so when I'm going through a stormy situation, when I need to pray, then I'm going to simply do what Yahusha did. Peace be still. Peace be still. Now, remember I told y'all to close your eyes. Okay, now close your eyes. Now, don't open them while I'm talking until I tell you to open them. Okay, little flock? Look out on that field. Look at the grass. We're all there together in an open plain, a huge expanse of green pastures on an even plain. See it with me. Now simply walk out there and feel the grass on your toes. As we as a group simply just walk through this green pasture. There's nothing else there but the plain and us. So we are experiencing the grass, feeling it between our toes as we walk. We see one another. We're greeting one another. Hey, how you doing? Peace be unto you, little flocculator. The breeze blowing. What are you wearing? Nope. Don't think about what you have in your closet, little flocculator. What are you wearing? Because here in the kingdom, you simply decide. So as we walk through this green pastures together, what are you wearing? What color is it? How do you feel? How do you smell? Remember, don't limit it to your 3D world, but seek it by faith. I have. So then what are you wearing? Like I told you. Now, as we walk through these green pastures, let's sit down for a moment. Let's sit down for a moment. And let's just think about this place where we are. I'm going to close my eyes with y'all. As we sit in these green pastures and we look over, we see a stream, a living stream of water coming down. A small little hill up there, coming down to where we are, a little stream. And let's go over to this stream and let us dip our hand into the stream. And do you feel that water? Do you feel how comfortable it is to the touch and how it's not offensive? Now scoop some in your hand and now sip it out of your hand into your mouth. Do you notice the temperature is different in your mouth than it was in your hand? Because nothing offends here. Because it's the kingdom of heaven. Do you notice you're able to do it from where you are and so am I, but yet we're in the same place together right now? Give me a high five. See how simple and easy that was to do? Now, as we're thinking and pondering over this sweet water that we've just drank, it's perfect to the touch as well as perfect to the taste. Look over a little bit to your left there. You see that tree with that 12 manner of different fruit hanging on it? I want you to pick one. Any one that you desire, doesn't matter. Pick one and take a bite. Do you notice the texture, the taste, the color? Another thing, little flocculator, did you notice that branch where you pulled that fruit from the stem? Do you notice 12 fruit sprouted in its place and replaced the one you took? Isn't it wonderful here in the kingdom of heaven where we are? Now, I want to ask you a question. While we are here together, little flock, are there any enemies here? Is there any fear here? And where are you? Open your eyes. Where are you? Where were you? Within yourself. And yet you were with me that whole time. Do you understand what Yahushua was telling you guys all along? Now, if you took a moment today to do what I just told you to do, I want you to stop and think for a moment. How often do you take time to do that throughout your day? And then especially, I want you to think of how often you take time to do that when you're going through a stormy situation. Are you running like those men were on the boat? Are you grabbing a bucket trying to save the boat? Are you screaming trying to save your own life? And then when you pray, do you go to Christ and say, "Do you don't care? You less gonna let me die?" Isn't that what they said to him? So that means that you're praying, but look at how you're praying. You're not peaceful or calm when you pray. Remember how I told you? Let me do it again. How do you pray, sir? This is how. I get as calm and as peaceful as I possibly can get. I wanted you guys to hear it. Remember the brother said, the spiritual comfort zone. Isn't that what I'm telling you guys about? That place where we were with the grass and the water that was perfect and the fruit that sprouted 12 when you take one. Wasn't that a wonderful experience? Can anybody stop you from having that experience? And if you believe that you're having that experience that you're having when you're there, then you will. Stop. Stop. If you believe that you're having that experience that you're having when you're there, then you shall. Stop. That ain't the spiritual comfort zone you all should be seeking. The grandson is giving you the key of David if you're willing to have it. Anybody who reads the Bible who cares wants that key. And you're a fool if you don't. Well, I'm offering it to you. But I bet you never thought a man that's like me would be the man that would be offering you the key. That shouldn't surprise you if you knew God and if you knew the Bible, because God has to use the things that perplex men, because he said that that's how he does it. Many places he tells you, I will confound the wise. The wisdom of this world is foolishness. It's foolishness to God. Everything that men do that they think brings them good things is foolishness to the truth, like what I'm describing to you. If you believe, let me say it one more time in case somebody didn't hear me. If you believe that you are experiencing what you are when you're in there, then you will. No one stopped you from doing what you just did, nor can anyone stop you. I've been telling you guys about that for the longest time. And it seems that if you were wise, you'd click onto me like a Lego clicks and says, well, let's do it. When our powers combine, then we should become the Planeteers. Okay, so let our powers combine and let our colors come together like the rainbow and let us reflect Abba, because it's not hard to do. He is in a peaceful, calm state because he's the all most powerful, isn't he? So then if you know that's true, if you're not wondering, but you know that's true, then you're calm. So to prove that you know you're one with the Father, then you will be calm despite what happens to you. That's why Yahusha had to show it. He was obedient to that truth all the way up until death. What truth? To be peaceful and calm despite what everybody is doing to you. They spit on you, they kill you, they crucify you, they kiss you on the cheek and betray you. They tear your beard out of your face. They whip you with a rod. They place a sign and mock you above your head. They put a robe on you and mock you, a crown of thorns on your head and mock the fact that you're actually royal. They mocked all of this and mock you and mock you and mock you and hate on you and ridicule you and say all kinds of blasphemous words against you and murder you. And the whole time you're staying in that peaceful, calm state, even though it will be difficult at times. That's what Gethsemane was about. Read when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. This is before he was beat, spat on, hung up there, false accused, before he was tempted. But when he said, "You are they which have followed me in my temptation," that is what caused me to regenerate. So then if you do it, then you shall, even if you die, you shall regenerate. So then there's no need to fear anything else. Ultimately, everything goal is to kill you. So if you can't kill me, then what the hell am I scared of? Read Revelation and see if that's the last enemy that gets destroyed out of your thinking. Death. Death is nothing but a alternative to God. So since there is only one God, then there actually isn't any alternative. So then, do you hear what the grandson just said? Let me say it one more time. Death is an alternative to God. The spirit is life and peace. God breathed into Adam's nostrils the breath of life. Life. So then, death is an alternative to life. But if there's only one God, which is life, then there is no death. It's an illusion and it's not real. Am I lying about that or am I not lying about it? All right then. All right then. So then if I know that that's true, then I stay calm, don't I? I don't fear. I don't wonder or worry for my life. I don't even take any thought of it. It's not mine. It's his. And he know how to protect what's his, don't he? All right then. He already said, don't touch my anointed. So if I know that I am anointed, then I know you better not touch me, nigga. I know that. Not I better run if they try to touch me. That's not my thoughts. Those are death thoughts. I think life thoughts. I'm going to live. So I don't know why you would want to waste your energy trying to stop me from living. What do you think it's going to prove? Nothing. Yahusha already conquered over it. So then you're wasting your time trying to do the same thing you already did that failed, correct? That's what I would say. That's what I would say. And it goes the same way with prayer. People have been praying and praying and praying and praying and praying and failing and failing and failing and failing. Well, then test and see. Am I telling you to pray the way everybody else has told you to pray? Or am I telling you to pray a different way than you have heard growing up? Is this different than what you heard growing up? Is this different than what you saw that you were emulating? If I get down on my knees, then God really will look at me and say, I'm going to hear what you got to say, buddy. No, it's not what's going to do it. I'll give you guys an example. Two men are sitting there praying. One guy has his eyes open. One of them has them closed. But they're both praying The same begging prayer I told you about. Which one is God going to hear? Neither one. So then why did the guy close his eyes? Vain reasons. It's vanity what he did. Why did that guy have his eyes open? It's vanity. Because they're both asking wrong. They're not asking correctly. You see what I'm trying to say to you? So when he gave you that example, when he said one man lifted his head up into heaven, but one man didn't even lift his head, that's a posture of the heart, guys. It's not about what he physically did. It's the posture and state of his heart. He was humble. The other man was proud. The other guy was humble. So it's a state of heart that you have to be in. That's what Abba judges. So then that's what you must focus on. Where is your heart, child, that was watching me pray? And what's inside of you? So then that's where you better go. And you better make sure that that's what's in peace and that's what's still. Because if your heart isn't peaceful and isn't still, then it will become desperately wicked, looking for a way to save itself. Don't you see it? It will be desperately wicked, seeking to save its life. Many people have shamed themselves and brought disgrace upon themselves trying to save their life. They did save their life, but they disgraced themselves in the act of saving their own life. You see it, little flock? So it'd be wise that you just don't do that. It'd be wise that you do what the grandson is telling you today, to remain in that place. I only gave you a little snippet, which is when we walked through the green pastures together. You see what I'm telling you? It's because the Israelites didn't know this and they are not unified, so they don't go there together. They didn't have a shepherd. They didn't have a king. Read the Bible. They didn't have a priest. But what is the branch? He's a king and a priest. So he knows how to lead his his sheep by green pastures. Just like I just showed you. Still waters, like I just showed them to you. I just showed you. I mean, gosh, golly. Can you guys hear what I'm saying to you? I just took you there. That's how you know you got a good shepherd. When a shepherd of the flock is telling the flock, fear not. Be peaceful and calm and be not afraid, but simply go into the kingdom and simply accept what it is you do want. Accept that as true and believe that, and then give thanks that it is so while you leave rejoicing. Hey, even the wind and the waves obeyed him. What manner of man is this? The one from the other world in here. That's what I keep trying to tell you guys. He said it. So why is strange when I remind you that he said it? You know why it's weird? It's because I don't just remind you that he said it. I remind you that he said it by showing you how you ain't been doing it. Oh my God. Did you hear me today? Because like I told you, being a hearer is alright, but being a doer is good. So what do you think you should do? So if y'all ain't been doing it right, then somebody has to correct you and show you how to do it right. That's what the grandson's doing. You just did it, so then do that when you feel those negative feelings that you feel. Now, you won't do it if you don't have faith. See what I mean? You won't believe that what I'm telling you works if you don't have faith. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, if you don't have faith, let me give you a little news flash, dude. Little news bulletin coming in here. It says, if you don't have faith, you can't please God. So did you hear that? So then whose fault is it if you don't get the thing you seek for? Yours, not mine. I'm telling you how, because I've done it. So that's pretty stupid to not believe me. It's just because our desires don't line up. That's what I've been trying to teach y'all. That's why. Well, if he has this key of David that he's talking about, he should have all kind of worldly riches. Then you didn't read your Bible, did ya? Did ya? He told me don't stack up for myself riches on earth, it's where my eyes and shit can see, where the rust will decay the shit and the moth will eat it. He said don't, but rather stack up riches in this internal vault I have inside of my body that I swim through every day like Uncle Scrooge, because it's easy when you're rich as hell. So you just reach in and grab the dollar that you need to give to the poor man who's listening to this message, who wants that kind of money. I can just give it abundantly all the time to him. Blue bands, every time he comes, he's getting a stack upon stack upon stack upon stack. If he knows what true worth is. I told you, Yahusha says there's two kinds. Do you guys understand that there is, or do you have a problem accepting that? There's two kinds, isn't there? Which one did he tell us we should get? So then what kind did I spend all my time getting? The proof is what I do. Just like a boxer who's been training his whole life since he was 5 years old is going to show you what he was doing, what he was stacking up when he gets in that ring. You ain't stacked up shit. So when you get in the ring, you can throw 6 punches and then you're winded as hell, feel like you got COPD, and you're going to pass the hell out from exhaustion. And this guy who's been training since he was 2 years old is going to hit you in your liver one time. He's not even going to have to even exert much force because you've never been even hit in the liver, nor did you know it was a vulnerable place to be hit. But now that you feel that pain surging through your ass, bending you down to your knees in front of him like you're about to give him a blowjob, now all of a sudden you understand that maybe you should have trained a little bit more and understood your biology a little bit more and what areas to protect a little bit more before you just stepped into the ring swinging like a damn orangutan. You hear me? You hear me today? So, if you did what Yahusha said, then you will be greatly and richly abundant in what? Spiritual riches. Heavenly riches, he said. So then do I got those or do I not got them? All right then. So like I said, the desire you have comes from what's seated on your belly. See how the spiritual mind knows what's seated there, because I know what it means when it says his seat is sitting there on Pergamos. Did you know what it meant? If you didn't hear me talk to you, did you know what it meant? Do you know what it means? That Satan's seat is in Pergamos? Do you know how that affects you? Or do you think it's someplace on a map over there in Turkey? What do you think? If I was going to deceive you, you know what I'd do? I'd put a satanic looking statue in a city called Pergamos over there in Turkey so that you would think that's where he's at. And you would think you're safe. I would like to deceive you like that because I know where I'm really at. Do you know where he really at? Well, you better get hip to where he really at so you can stomp his damn head and get his cranium up under your damn heel of your foot. I'll tell you that right now. I know where he's at because I spend all my time in there. The same place I tell you guys you're neglecting because you're too busy distracted with 3D things. Why do you think your enemy deceives you by distracting you with so many 3D things that you do, just like the bridegroom who did there in Song of Solomon we read about, who went like he was going to go in the door to see his bride, and then he turned around and he left, and she opened the door and he was gone, but she thought he was going to be there because he acted like he was going to be there, but he left. He withdrew himself. That's you. Soon as you're about to go into that secret place I tell you about, he distracts you because he doesn't want you liberated and free. I'm going to tell you guys something, and you got to be a stupid ass nigga not to receive this. Watch what I'm about to tell you, and then you'll understand why I said that. I'm sitting in a cell with no money, with no communication, with no lawyer, no pool, no friend, no nothing. I'm sitting in the cell. Now, I am not supposed to get out for a few months, they've told me. 90 days. I've said this story a whole lot of times. I'm telling it again for those who ain't heard it. You might be new. So I'm sitting in that cell. Now, according to what I've told you about how prayer works, according to today, to go into that secret place where you're calm and still and serene, the spiritual, what the brother call it? The spiritual comfort zone. That's right. The TCZ. I mean, the SCZ. SCZ, the spiritual comfort zone. Now, I'm sitting in a cell. Now, this cell is designed to make me feel it. I don't know if y'all really want to get this Key of David, because I'm about to show you how I used it. So then if I were you, I'd be salivating like a pit bull over a steak, and my master says, wait. Wait. Fuck. Oh, God. Okay. That's how I'd be. Tell me what the fuck it is so I can do it. I want that key of David as well. Well, you have to overcome to get it. So what do you have to overcome? The 3D world that's trying to distract you. It's not hard. That's what he says. It's easy. Close your eyes. Now you've overcome the world. Damn. Is it so hard to understand that? Now, how did you overcome it? I'm about to show you how you overcome when you simply go there. Watch. Watch this here. I'm smarter than them hoe-ass niggas, first of all, so I'm going to show you how I am. Now, I'm sitting in the cell. The guy comes in. Hey, man, 90 days lockdown, man. You're at least going to be locked down 90 days. You're not going anywhere, so might as well settle in while we're working on this case against you. Now, remember, I told you guys before I was arrested for obstruction of justice. That was the charge they were holding me on because I just wasn't talking. Because I know I have the right not to. So then why would I? Well, you're obstructing us if you don't talk. Well, that's what you say. Go ahead on and say that. See how I'm not afraid? See how I'm not tripping? Well, if you want to arrest me, go on ahead. That's what you said. You said I'm obstructing. I ain't. I'm just deciding to use my right you said I have. The hell? Oh, fuck it. Okay, well, throw him in jail. Scare his ass. Okay, go ahead on. Throw me in there. Ain't going to scare nothing, but throw me in. So they did. They said 90 days. Now watch this. What did I do? I went into the secret place that I told you guys about. I went in there. Now, I'm smarter than them, like I told you. They took my clothes off, put it in a bin that I was able to see. See how I'm smarter and slicker than these bastards? I'm harmless as a dove because I don't have to harm them to get free. Like when you watch a movie and the guy wants to get out, so they kill up a bunch of cops and kill niggas all on the road in the bus and everything where they got to escape and shit like Money Talks, killing up niggas and paying people to kill. No, I didn't have to do any of that. I was harmless as a dove flying on a breeze. And I'm going to show you how, because I used that serpent snake skill that he told us to use, which is wisdom. Oh God, Grandson said something crazy. He said serpent snake skill. He said wise as a serpent. Use his skill set, nigga. Now watch, I'm going to show you how to. I saw that basket they put my clothes in, and I knew exactly what those clothes looked like. Now remember, they're trying to get me to panic. Oh, you're locked up. You're in jail. That causes anxiety on people. You see it when they come in. They're all in anxiety. People be losing their jobs. They can't work, can't make no money. They're stressing about this. They're stressing about that. Their wife going to be pissed off. They may get this loss. All that shit is going on in their head, not in mine. My shit is I'm free. I'm free. So as I saw them put the clothes, they're going to give me some county shit. So they did. Now, watch what I mean about the 3D guys and how they really try to get you. See how the carnal mind really tries to get you going. Well, when they gave me with the little jumpsuit, I realized it was a color that I wasn't expecting. It was a color to be on the maximum security cell block. I'm like, why are y'all putting me in this particular jumpsuit? I'm thinking that. But I'm like, oh, I get it. They want to put me in there with the murderers and the killers and shit to make me feel intimidated and scared and feel like I want to get out of here, man. Somebody help me, man. Fuck, scared, man. That's what they're trying to do. Well, I put the little murder and jumpsuit and shit on. Yeah, I walked in like I was one of them niggas. Shit, got in the cell and shit, started reading my Bible. As soon as I sat down, there's a Bible in here? Yeah, here's one, man. Grabbed it, sat right down, started reading. Now, remember I told you they put my clothes in a bin. So now when the lights went off and they said, everybody go to sleep, I walked right down. I saw where they brought me, so I simply walked out of there. I walked right down the stairs that they brought me up. I got out of the cot. I did all this while I was laying in the cot in the cell. I got off the cot. I jumped down. I walked through the door because I can, because nothing is impossible. You should tell a mountain to get out your way. So what the hell is this steel door? Hell, y'all don't have faith. I walked right through it. I walked right down the stairs, right past the corrections officer, waved at that nigga as I walked past and shit, walked right through the cell door holding me from that open area, walked right through that shit, went right to the little drawer with my little box and shit where they put, put all your items and shit, pulled that box, grabbed my items out. I took the jumpsuit off. I put my clothes that I had on, because I knew exactly what they looked like, and I knew exactly what the bin and where they had put it. So I simply put my clothes back on, threw their little murder jumpsuit at their ass and said, have that. I hope it was musty. And I went on about my day. Walked out the damn building. Okay? Now, That may not even, you guys may not even see the power yet that I'm describing that has happened here. But you're going to see it when I'm done telling you what happened. Or if you deny it, like I said, you're just dumb as a brick. So now, as I'm there, I told you guys, I start preaching to the other brothers because they see me in a calm, peaceful state. And when I told you people see virtue, they come to it because they desire to be virtuous. So they see it and they come to it. So the brothers saw me calm. They're panicking. They brought me all their worries. They told me what their stresses were. So I knew how they were feeling. I told them to do the same thing that I was doing. Now, watch how God loves me so much that he's going to actually show them through me that what I said was true. Watch. One of the guys I'm telling this to, he has an out date to get out at April 1st. That was his out date. At this time, remember, I don't have an out date because they've told me 90 days. At this time, I had been in for about 30-something days. Well, in that midst of that 30-something days, I've met this guy I've been teaching about getting out and about not stressing and about not worrying, but deciding what it is you don't want and then believe that that's what it is. Don't tell nobody. Don't flex on nobody. Don't express to nobody because you don't want to let one hand know what the other hand is doing. You want to keep it secret, like I just said. When you make love and make a baby, don't you want to do it in a secret place? Well, it is in a secret place whether you like it or not. You do not see that sperm swim into that egg and fertilize it. You don't even see it when it happens, but it does. And then it produces that child in its due time. So if it produces that child in its due time, even though you didn't see it, then you saw it by faith and it gave it to you. See, that's how your manifestation comes, which is that child. That's what I'm teaching the guys. So as I'm sitting there saying all of these things to them, hey, you. Yes, I turn around. You're out of here. Well, I've only been here for 38 days. So why are you telling me I'm out of here if what you had told me originally was true? Put my shit on. Because it ain't true. I'm true. I'm more powerful than you. I'm smarter and more cunning and more wise than you. And I proved it because I did everything that I did secretly. Therefore, you could not make a counter move to any move that I made because you can't see the move that I made. Just like that snake is up on your shoulder before you saw the moves that he made to get there. You didn't see him. You didn't hear him until he was right there, and then his venom sank into your shit. So Abba calls that wisdom. That's what I did to them. I moved in a way where they never saw my head, which means they never saw where I was getting my moves from. They can't. You can't. You can try, and you niggas can lie all the fuck you want out there, you little scared, you little fucking rats running around talking about, I'm being gang-stalked. They give a mind control machine. They're shooting it at me, and it controls my thoughts. Well, then you must not have the fruit of the spirit, which is called self-control. Because if Abba says he give you self-control, and that's the fruit of the spirit, then who the fuck else can control you then? See how you lie on God and tell God he's not powerful? Matter of fact, you tell him that men are stronger than him. You act like men have made a counter approach to everything God has did. I told you that what God does is secret. So men can't even see what the fuck God doing. Like what he's doing here at the School of Marvelous Light. They can't see it because they don't know how to look. See, when they hear words like fuck, they say that's bad and they turn and walk off. That's the way God designed it. He wants it like that. He doesn't want you. People who judge like that, that's what he's doing. He doesn't want you in. I am not about to be out there in that peace and serene that we just talked about with you, hanging out with you guys, the flockulators, like we were just doing a minute ago. I'm not going to be out there. And then when you pick the fruit and you bite and go, damn, this shit good as hell, I'm going to get offended and say, get the fuck out. I can't say get the fuck out, excuse me. Hey, you get out of here, buddy. You get out of here. You said a cuss word. Give me my fruit back. You guys think the kingdom is going to go like that? Or am I going to look at my brother and go, surely is shit. That bitch good as hell, nigga, down. Oh, it feels so wonderful to be in the kingdom. That's what I'm going to do? Or am I going to get mad? I don't give a damn about all that shit you guys care about. What I care about is saving a soul. What do you care about? He ate without washing his hands first. What a disgusting human being. But you swallow a camel with what you think every day. So how in the hell is he grosser than you are? What do you mean I swallow a camel? I see the secret things you do when nobody's looking. I know you know how to decorate when people look at you. But are you that same person that when you go home, your room is dirty as fuck, with dirty, nasty, stinking drawers thrown in the corner, crusty ass socks thrown over there, a pizza you ate last week stuffed under there, and a box that's been smashed on because you sat on it because you forgot while you were typing on your laptop, eating your Cheetos, twiddling your toe jam filled ass toes. But as soon as somebody says, "Hey, I'm coming over," you run like fucking Sonic to that shower and that mirror. Oh shit! Tasmanian devilish. Damn. Look at her. Look at him. Whoever. I don't give a damn if it's a her or a damn him. Half them niggas out there in the world don't know what they is. So who cares if I say it right or wrong? It don't matter. Because we ain't talking about flesh and blood no damn way. I don't know why y'all get caught all up on that stuff. It don't do you no good to do it. So like I've said, it's very obvious what I'm telling you guys. And I've stuck it like a pin, sticking it on the wall right there in front of you, and stopped to make sure that you could hear it. I walked out of there. Now, I told you there may be some people who didn't hear this, and I've left out a lot of details about what took place, but I got to the point of it. Before 40 days had passed, I walked out. I was putting my clothes on physically. Now, you may think those two situations are not correlated. I know that they are, and I accept it. You're on the fence. You're lukewarm. You're not sure. You don't know if that's what caused it. I'm telling you it is. You just don't have no faith if you don't believe me. Faithless and perverse. Because what will you say will get you out? Calling people for money, getting a lawyer, calling your mom for some help, some support, doing this and doing that, and calling and doing that, and trying to get this done, and filling out this and doing this and doing that, and hoping and praying and getting at your cot on your knees. And I didn't get on my knees one time, but I got the request made. So then I don't know why you think I should. My body is sinful, so then there's no need in making it like it ain't. My spirit, though, is willing, so then I accept that. And with my spirit, I serve God, because that's what he asks for. He doesn't want your flesh to serve him, because it can't. It cannot. So you might as well stop cleaning it as if it can. Look, if there's an all-knowing God, and he said, wash yourself, and if you're perfectly clean, I'll accept you, then that means you will wash your body in a way where you believe you are pristine, perfect, clean. And he will still find a dirt speck under your fingernail, behind your ear, and in your fucking corner, in your fucking eye. He gonna find something that he gonna say, look at that. Look at that. Because you saw it by the work of your hands. You didn't say, well, Abba, if you made me, I'm already clean. Look at the innocence. Look at it. You made me, so then you made me clean. Why do I have to wash up? Shit, you already made me clean. You in me, ain't you? All right then. See how that's working, little flockulators? One's faith and one is sight. And one is calm and one is not calm. So if you're not calm, if you're stressed, if you're worried, that tells you you're in the carnal mind. Now you have a choice in that moment. You're not going to feel like it, because the reason you are in the carnal mind is because of your feelings. You must know that. If you find that you have slipped into the carnal mind, it is because of your woman, your feelings. Your feelings are deceived. The man is not deceived. Your thoughts are not. It's your feelings that are deceived. And your feelings want to stay deceived because they've become one with the deceiver, Satan. This is what I've described to you guys. And that will not bring you peace. It will not bring you the happiness you look for. You see it? Her solution is to kill. We already read about Jezebel and what she teaches. Outward appearance, adorning, and killing. That's what she teaches. So then it would be wise that you don't emulate that at all, nor do you seek to it for any type of counsel. It would be wise that you listen to the wonderful counselor who can counsel you in all truth. Did you hear what I just told you? I did. So I'm not going to tell you what a book says you should do. I'm not going to tell you what some psychiatrist says you should do. I'm telling you what I did do. Look at the difference in the teaching. I'm telling you what I did. And so what I did was I assumed that I was a free man, that I was never in jail, that I was already free, and those charges were dropped. And so the guy said, go home. And I said, what? I don't have to do anything else? No, just go. All right. And I chuckled as I put my clothes back on because I had already did it. Now, if I had not already did it, then I wouldn't have did it. I see, that's what I mean. It's correlated whether you like it or not. This is what I want you guys to hear. It's correlated whether you like it or not. So I've learned, see, the masculine side, this is why you guys need a father in your life. This is why. Because he teaches you something regardless of how you feel. He tells you what's right, even if you don't feel good about it. That's why you need your dad, man, to teach you the hard truths, to be patient enough with you, to take you through the whys. Your mother's not always going to be patient to hear why and why and why and why and why when you fucked up. Consider what I'm telling you. If you had a mother and a father, when you did something wrong, your mother was quick to jump down your throat about it. But your father was the one that had to come and get the answers to say, well, what was happening? Who were you talking to? What were you doing? To get down to the nitty gritty. And especially if a child is lying, that mother will give the baby up to that father for that moment and say, look, this nigga just gonna keep lying. I'm out of here. The dad will sit there until he get that truth. And he'll use wisdom and harmlessness to get the truth out of his son. So let the father do that with you and return to your father who teaches you these things. How to be free and fearless, man. I just proved it to you. I didn't have any fear because I already had the answer, the key. So he says you open a door. Watch what I'm telling you, how true it is. You will open a door and no man can shut it. So I'm using the key that he gave me to create a portal. Now I created a portal. I got off my bunk and walked through it. I showed you how I did it. Now to the naked eye, what do I look like I'm doing? I look like I'm asleep on my cot. Because I did it as I was dozing off to sleep. I just did it, and then when I was done doing it, I just did it again. And when I was done doing it, I just did it again. And I just repetitively did that thing over and over as I went to sleep and dozed off doing it. I did it every day until I physically did it. That means I sought what I wanted by faith, and I didn't let go. I sought it every day. That's the not letting it go. That's called faith. That's what Abraham did. That's what all the people that please God have done. They believed God. They believe that he's a rewarder of those that seek him. And so they do. They seek him. I am free. Nigga try to lock me up. I'm a child of God. You can't lock up God, nigga. Are you sick and insane? Let me prove to you you can't. See, I don't just talk shit. I do shit. And because I do the shit, that's why I talk shit. If I couldn't do the shit, I wouldn't talk no shit. Because then I wouldn't be humble. But when you tell the truth, then you are humble. Even if it sounds like you're talking shit. If I'm the best pool player in the world, then when I go to shoot pool and I'm just beating everybody and I've beaten everybody on earth, then I'm not going to say, well, obviously I'm the best player in the world. That makes me arrogant? Or does it make it absolutely true? Well, that's what I'm saying. You will only get the riches that God has for you if you believe they exist. And I totally did. And when I saw that key of David, I found out that even a guy that has money can't do what I just did. That's why money is a defense, but wisdom is a defense. Which one do you think is the most important? Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. All thy getting, acquiring, to buy and to sell. All that men think about, but they think about doing it under the sun, not listening to Solomon, who knows both sides. He had the wisdom and the riches, so he can tell you both sides, and he did. He said all that stuff that you do with wisdom is valuable, but all that stuff that you do under the sun is vanity. It's a waste of time and vexation of spirit. Even if you build up something great, a fool might come and inherit it and then tear it down. Look at Solomon's temple. See what I'm trying to explain to you, little flockulators? You see it? So it's about time that we simply, when we need to, go into that secret place where it's serene, calm, blessed, peaceful, and still, like Yahusha said that it was. And then guess what? They will look at you and say, what manner of man is this? Even the police obeyed this nigga. Even the jail cell bars obeyed this nigga. All this shit obeyed this nigga. This nigga free. I mean, I know he said he was free, but this nigga literally is free. I'm watching him walk out. And when I walked out, I walked right past the guy I was telling you about, was teaching how to do it. I walked right past, he hugged me. He ran up the stairs to my cell while I was packing my shit, about to walk out. He ran up there and hugged me with tears in his eyes, saying, it's true. I said, I told you. Now, see how Abba, what does it say? Wisdom is justified of her own. So to prove that what I had did was just and what I had did was full of wisdom, using the serpent like I told you, wise as a serpent, to prove that it was wise, I was able to walk out using the power that I told him would work. It worked for me right in front of him. And I got out before he did. When I didn't have an out date, he did. I got out before he did. So, did I need an out date? So what's going on? So, did I need an out date to get out? No. Did I need a phone call to get out? No. Did I need any money to get out? No. Did I need anything outside of myself to get out? No. I only used the narrow path. Why is it narrow like I told you guys earlier? Because how many people can go through you? Inside of you? Only one. That's why it's narrow. It's secret. If everybody knew about it, it wouldn't be a secret. But nobody will know about it. They will only know about it openly when you're rewarded. That's how they know what you did secretly. Damn, I never seen this nigga cry on the ground, begging on his knees, praying. I just saw him happy, joyful, peaceful, calm, helpful, generous, kind, loving, caring, empathetic, wise, helpful as hell. Shit. So then, no wonder he walked out like he said he was going to do. Yeah, nigga can't hold me. You know what the hell them niggas must be smoking that new crack. Shit. Niggas smoking some crack, they think they can hold the grandson of right thought. You can't. I proved that you can't. So if I've just proven it to you guys, then what does that mean? You either think I'm lying to you or you think I'm telling you the truth. And if you think I'm telling you the truth, then you'll do it. So when somebody tells you something, just simply go in your mind and tell them something different than what they've told you and see who wins. Because watch what I'm about to tell you before I end this message. What you were doing before is being led about. And what do I mean by that? When somebody offered you a suggestion, like, you want to do 90 days? You believed them. And so they became your God. And they became your head. And then you experienced what they told you were going to experience. But if you knew the power was in you, then you would reject what they told you. You would reject what they offer you. You would reject their suggestion, like I did, and prove to them that you're more powerful than the whole fucking court system was that day. And another thing is, learn patience. Because you may want it to come at a certain time. I didn't put no time on it. I simply said that I was. And if I am, then I don't need to wait. That's what I keep telling you. You will say, well, grandson, you said it took like 37, 38 days. Okay. But what is 1,000 days to God? They're all like 1 day, right? 1 hour. It's all the same to the Most High. Because he perpetually and always lives in the now. So did I. And so I am free right now. Can you hear what I'm saying to you, little flock? I hope you can. Because you will be if you try what I'm telling you to go into that spiritual comfort zone. So y'all be blessed today, little flock. Silawam Mr. Allah.